Coach, so much late in the season in this league is just about finding a way. How much does Wendell's, putback dunk to win it exemplify that?
I think it was huge. You talk about late game execution, getting the shot at the last minute, which is fantastic for our guys. But our crowd was fantastic. The energy in the building, being home, was great. Again, give credit. Detroit played their tails off, but our guys, it was a great battle down the stretch.
How good do you feel for Wendell, not only having a play like that, but, he came up with some big rebounds for you guys also as well down the stretch?
Well, we always say it by committee, and tonight was, his night. How about stepping up and knocking those free throws down when it was needed? Big-time rebounds, battling on the boards. We challenged our guys to rebound the basketball, and, us being able to, beat them, by 46 to 45 on the rebound count.
We talked over the last couple of days about learning the details. You talked about showing them some of those late game miscues maybe in some of the latest games. Obviously, I haven't watched the tape yet, but how do you think this team handled those details to find a way to scratch this one out?
Well, there's always lessons to learn, and I think this is one of those great ones that, in a win, you come away and you say, okay, you feel very good, but there's a lot of things down the stretch that we can definitely have improved on. You talk about free throw line box out, the ability to foul in certain situations, being able to communicate our switches. But again, we come away with the win because of how resilient our guys were, and so I'm just proud of their effort and the energy they put forth tonight.
Coach, obviously tonight there was a lot more 8-second violations than you normally see in an NBA game. What does that say to the game plan? What did you see in the scouting report headed into tonight that you wanted to put a lot of emphasis on that full court press?
Well, it's who we have to be. Every time the team walks in here, they got to know that we're going to, you want 94 feet of pressure, and it's going to be by committee. Sometimes it's Markelle, sometimes it's Franz, sometimes it's Gary, sometimes it's Jalen. It's whoever's bringing that basketball up has to feel us from the moment they put that ball in bounds. That's the pressure and the intensity we need to play with.
Coach, congrats on the win tonight. Do you feel that there's a sense of more urgency now that the All-Star game is behind you? And is there more of a locked-in mentality than you've locked in before?
I think our guys have really bought in to, just being focused on the details of the game. I said after All-Star, there was 3 great spirited practices and shoot-around. I thought they did a really good job of focusing. So I really am enjoying where they are. We are enjoying where they are from a team side of committing to each other and communicating with one another.
We know the Pistons are a pretty big team. They have Ivy who can put a lot of pressure on the paint. We know that you guys are all about stopping those points in the paint. Just looking at the box score, it seemed like the paint defense was pretty strong today. You guys were able to close down the glass. What does that say about this team struggling offensively, but able to still kind of hold to those defensive principles and really keep this a game despite the poor shooting percentage you guys had?
It's who we have to continue to be. That was the game plan going in, take away the paint. And for us to do that, now obviously they hit some big shots, so credit to them for knocking down some tough ones. But our guys, I think they did a great job of sticking to the game plan, taking away the paint, and then finishing possessions out. We talked about before the game, finish the possessions out with the rebound because these guys crashed the glass extremely hard.
Jamal, you had mentioned it pregame in your opening statement about, the tragedy that happened yesterday. How much do you think this team has a sense of the relief that they can bring, kind of the cathartic nature with a win like this, kind of to a community that is hurting right now?
I think this team wants to embody everything that this community is, always pulling together. And, when we say doing it by committee, it's everybody involved. And I think that's what this community is. That's who we have to be. I think we continue to band and pull together. And this is this group that wants to represent this community, this organization, the right way. And just, care for those around you, more than you do yourself.
Coach, replays kind of added a new dimension to the buzzer beater. When they have a chance to look at it and the crowd gets a chance to rile up, is it kind of cool to have an ending like that where everybody has a minute to go nuts?
I honestly thought it was fantastic. In that sense, I thought it was great that everybody, you celebrate the first one, then you get a chance to look at it, and then, again, our fans and this crowd was absolutely incredible. And that, like you're saying, it is a moment that everybody gets to celebrate that one more time.
Everyone good? All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Wendell, we talked earlier this morning about, the playoff push, and so much of those type of games are about just finding a way. How much did your, putback slam in the final seconds kind of exemplify that, just finding a way tonight?
We just stayed resilient. I think we didn't have the best offensive night, especially going into the third quarter. But we didn't let that affect our defense. And I think that's very important. If we see ourselves being a playoff team, that's kind of what it's about. Some nights the ball isn't going to go in, but we got to control what we can control, which is playing hard, limiting them to one shot, and just getting great shots on the offensive end. And I think we did that for the most part. And then, like you said, you got to find a way, and we found a way at the very end to get the victory.
Take us through that kind of final sequence. What did you see as you went through and made that game winner?
I give a lot of credit to our assistant, Jesse. Coming out of the timeout, he said, when P goes to the basket, just follow it up. You never know what might happen. And lo and behold, I follow it up, and the ball comes right to me. Quick, easy tip in. And, I just give a lot of credit to Jesse because he literally told me that right as we was coming out of the timeout.
Dell, I was going to ask you about how do you think Jonathan Isaac has been lately? Obviously, his minutes have been going up. He's had 10 points
Stole
tonight.
my putback.
10 points tonight. 7 rebounds. He's been really good, especially tonight. Yeah. What can you say about how he's helped you, especially on that rebounding end?
He's one of those guys, he makes the defensive end for us so easy. He's one of those guys, he's so locked in on, getting stops, controlling what he can control, which is, playing as hard as he possibly can. So, he's one of those guys, he makes the game of basketball so easy to play. And, he's a competitor. Guys like him, Markelle, made the game easy for the rest of us. So, major shout out to JR.
Throughout that, I know in the last couple of days you guys have been kind of watching film, some of your play in clutch moments. How did that kind of come into play as you guys were going through that run the Pistons put on at the end of the game to kind of get those rebounds, get those stops, and eventually make that play at the end?
Like you said, we watched a lot of like playoff games, and we kind of saw it's guys make shots, guys make big shots down the stretch, guys make tip-ins like I did. Like we saw a little bit of all that as we were just watching random playoff games with the team, and it kind of just showed. First game out of the All-Star break, that's exactly what we saw. So we kind of got a small feel for it. So we know what to expect going forward.
Replay has kind of added a new dimension to the buzzer beater. Is it kind of cool to celebrate twice because you knew it was in, and then you got to wait for them to say good basket, and then the crowd goes nuts again?
Yeah. I mean, deep down below, I knew it was good, so I wasn't really tripping. So I just continued to celebrate. But I know they got to go back and review it and do all that stuff. But I was good. I was happy. I knew we won. Yeah, when the fans go crazy. I mean, we got some of the best fans. They've been riding with us. We had some down seasons. We're kind of on the uptrend right now. They've been here for us. Through the good times and the bad times. So I definitely major shout out to the Orlando Magic fans.
Markelle, kind of along those lines, take us through the atmosphere, both with Dell's walk-off, where you guys kind of doused him in water, and into the locker room after a victory like that.
Pretty amazing. I'm still kind of upset with the steal of the putback, but I'm happy that our team win. I'm a team guy. You guys know that, but kind of a little upset. But again, I think we just stuck with it. Especially with a couple games that we had earlier in the season, going through kind of the same situation where we come down the stretch and we came up short. So just happy for us to get a win, especially in games like this that matter, especially every game that matters in the second half. But guys are just having fun and competing, man. I think you're seeing guys that believe in the work, believe in what we're doing, and we believe that we can do something special. So again. Guys are just having fun, and guys are putting in the work, and you're seeing the product of that.
Wendell, was your in the back here? Was that your first buzzer beater since high school? Did you have one in the state tournament against Westside?
Yeah, I did have one against them. Yeah, I remember that.
And I wanted to ask, with both of y'all, it wasn't just the putback that you stole from Markelle. It was free throws, Markelle. You had a couple buckets down the stretch, but we've talked about the close games and you guys having to make those winning plays. How much ownership did you take in those final minutes for you guys being the ones to make those winning plays?
Honestly, I wasn't trying to go to overtime. So I'm like, man, I'm about to figure out something. So that's where my mind was at. So that's kind of where I went with it.
Yeah, I think for us again, it's just about learning from your mistakes. Like, again, we had moments earlier in the season, right before All-Star, where we had games like this, and I feel like we made our own mistakes that cost us the game, and I feel like we're just learning from those mistakes, and we're understanding what it takes to give ourselves a chance to win. That's all we can do is control what we can control, and tonight we were fortunate enough for my good guy Wendell to get the putback. So.
Wendell, we know that paint defense is a big focus for this team. You know, I think you guys won the rebounding battle. You limited their offensive rebound chances. Really won that point in the paint battle. How key is that, especially on a night when you aren't hitting shots, to have that be a rock and a foundation for this group?
I think that's growth for us. We tend to fall into when the ball isn't going there, we allow it to affect our defense. Not sprint back on defense if we don't make a shot we thought we were supposed to. Giving up offensive rebounds, not impacting all shots. I think we did a really good job of just locking in to know what the game plan was. After being 2-0 to them this whole season, those were the two areas that we struggled. We gave a lot of offensive rebounds and a lot of three-pointers. So I think we did a really good job of at least impacting all shots and limiting them to one shot every time.
Guys, congrats on the win tonight. This question's for either of you. Is there a heightened sense of urgency now that the All-Star break's behind you, now that you can see the finish line for the regular season? Do these wins, mean a little bit more, knowing that there's only that much between you guys and the play-in tournament?
Me personally, and I think I speak for a lot of our team, I don't think so. I think we have our own goal in mind, and again, we're focused on building every day and one day at a time. And again, we believe that we can be a playoff team and do something very special this year. And that's what we're focused on, just trying to get better every day and let the results come.